Good morning. Welcome to Books at the Bottom of the Stairs. Today I'm talking to you from inside the gazebo. It's a beautiful day. It's been a little hard to find a camera angle that doesn't have a sun glare going because the sun is super sharp. And it's not too hot for a change, and there's a nice breeze blowing. The camera is on the little dining table that we have, and this is where the cat feels that she's entitled to spend most of her time because it's a glass top, so it's a little bit cool. So we may see Cleo Bell trotting back and forth. My name's Lorene. I forgot to say that. Yeah, so hi, I'm glad to see you again. Steve and I had quite an adventure yesterday. We were going down to Lunenburg. It was his birthday, and we had visions of a lobster, a bookstore, a bit of shopping, a bit of retail therapy, and we did, except that we really hit our favorite store first, and after that, well, it was kind of game over because it was hot and wearing the masks in air-conditioned stores was a bit of a challenge. So we did go to one or two other stores, but the bloom was off. But the first store we went into was Lunenburg Bound, our pretty much favorite bookstore. It's a combination of used books and new books. And I guess from Steve's point of view, they've got, the owner is a sailor, and he's got many publishers, I guess, that feature nautical books, whether they're fact type books about sailing and rigging and all that sort of thing, or people who've written fiction books, or people who've written travel logs that have to do with sailing or boating. So that's Steve's big happy place, and I find quite a lot too. So one of the things, I'll just tell you what we got a ton. And not all of them were for Steve, even though it was his birthday. Well, I'll tell you what I'm reading first. So I am reading Castle in the Air, and it is the second book in Howl's Castle series, and Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones, and I'm loving it. And so far, it's different characters. I have a feeling Howl shows up somewhere. I've read it before, and I seem to recall that eventually he shows up, but I could be wrong. Anyhow, it's Abdullah, and he's fallen in love with Flower of the Night, a princess of a very rich chic. And yeah, magic carpets, genies, magic in general, a very hungry dog. It's just a wonderful romp. Really, really enjoying it. I'm still reading the Stolen Bicycle, but yeah, that's just a very, very gentle read. All right, what we picked up. The first one is completely new to me. It is The Green Gage Summer by Rummer Godden. I don't know if I've got that right. Anyways, it is about 5 siblings. Mom has become sick. They're at a hotel in France, and Mom is kind of off page. And the 5 siblings are dealing with the owners of the hotel, and the 13-year-old, I guess, is the narrator. And she is watching her older sister become involved in a toxic relationship with the male owner of the hotel. And I don't know whether he's married to the female owner of the hotel, or I'm not sure what that relationship is. Anyways, it's an entirely new book to me, and yeah, it's just a hot summer read. I think it'll be kind of fun for reading in August when it is hot here. Well, the other one from the same publisher, now that's Macmillan's, what are they called? Macmillan's Classic Press, I think it is, or Pan Macmillan. And I've talked about it in the past, and Macmillan Collector's Library, but I found it a little hard to find on the website, but they do have quite a number of these books. And the second one we picked up was Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. This is an author who likes to have at least 50 words in each sentence, so not a lot of paragraphs, lots of description, and we're going to read it sort of as a read aloud whenever, because it's such a perfect size, I can just pop it in my purse, can read it in the car or while we're driving, or just, whenever, bring it out at a nighttime when we haven't got something else going. I think it'll take us, several months to get through it. It's written in that style where 17 words will do when really only 2 would do in today's contemporary writing style. So I got a kick out of one in a word, and then he went on for a whole page. It was sweet. And both of us, no, like, has Steve read that? I don't think Steve's read that. I think he's familiar with it. I've read it a long time ago, and I remember it fondly, but I don't remember. It was not like other books. It didn't like really stick in my head. All right, the other one I picked up for myself is The Book of Dragons by E. Nesbit, and these are a collection of stories about dragons, and I'm assuming that she's written them all because I don't see any other authors mentioned in here. So dragons and E. Nesbit, just what a wonderful combination. I'm really looking forward to this. And the cover, I mean, well, the cover's a little bit damaged, but that is a heck of a dragon. Kind of not how I would think of a dragon, but I guess the Chinese dragons are a bit more snake-like compared to some of the Western configurations that we're used to. All right, the next one I picked up for my daughter for Christmas, and she doesn't really watch that many of these videos, so I might get lucky. She might not know what this is. This is a history, got that too close, a history of polar exploration, and L.P. Kerwin has brought these all together. It's Penguin Oldie, and it's in conjunction with the Royal Geographical Society, and these are not fiction. I believe they're mostly actual things that took place, and it goes back to Russia and the Antarctic, and the Royal Navy, the Napoleonic Wars. So I see something about the Dutch and English rivalry in the Arctic. So it's got a really excellent map, excellent biography. So I think this is right up her alley, and then I'll have to borrow it back. That's happened a couple times where I found a really good book, given it to her for Christmas, and then said, no, send that back. All right, the other one I picked up for myself is the Penguin Book of Mermaids, and this also is a compilation and fiction. Among the oldest and most popular mythical beings, mermaids and other merfolk have captured the imagination since long before Ariel sold her voice to the sea, which in the beloved Disney film, as far back as the 8th century BC, sailors in Homer's Odyssey stuffed wax in their ears in order to resist the sirens. More than 2,000 years later, the gullible New York public lined up to witness a mummified mermaid specimen that the enterprising showman P.T. Barnum swore was real. So I'm looking forward to that too. Might save that for the winter, just because I have so much to read. Okay, now Steve's birthday presents. No, he didn't know that he wanted this. This is a frog, and it is by John Hawkes, who is also the author of The Blood Oranges and An Irish Eye. And I believe, now when was this one? This one is from, 1997, current. And it is sort of a retelling of, it's a really dark front cover. And those scritches on it are meant to be there. So it is about a French child asleep beside a lily pond shortly before the First World War. He swallows a frog. Mysteriously, the creature survives within him and endures throughout the boy's life, a life filled with an exhilarating power over others. An Aesopian fable? An ironic children's story? The frog goes far beyond these, as the adventures of the misanthropic victim, Pascal, and the tyrannical frog, Armand, move between a chateau, a mental institution, and a brothel. Soon the frog becomes a mock philosophical treatise on the culinary arts, the limits of belief, the sinister appeal of illness, and, as the frog usurps even Pascal's sexuality, eroticism. It's supposed to be a parable of violence and illusion. Who knows? Anyways, I bought it for him. I think I'll probably read it down the road, but he said it was interesting, so I put it in the pile. Now this one's a new publication, and it is The Long Ship, and by Franz G. Bengtsson, double S, so I'm assuming he's probably of Nordic extraction of some sort. And these are the fantastic worlds of the 10th century AD, when the Vikings roamed and rampaged from the northern fastness of Scandinavia down to the Mediterranean. The hero, Red Orm, canny, courageous, and above all lucky, is only a boy when he is abducted from his Danish home by the Vikings and made to take his place at the oars of their dragon-proud ships. Orm is then captured by the Moors in Spain, where he is initiated into the pleasures of the senses and fights for the Caliph of Cordova. Escaping from captivity, Orm washes up in Ireland, where he marvels at those epicene creatures, the Christian monks, and from which he then moves on to play an ever more important role in the intrigues of various Scandinavian kings. He's everywhere. He's sort of, yeah, this is definitely an epic. Look at how thick that is. And no pictures. If a book's that thick, there should be at least a picture every 100 pages. So this is let me see. The introduction is written by Michael Chabon, which is part of what grabbed me to it, because I have enjoyed his writing before. So I thought, well, if he's interested enough to write something, then that might be worth investigating. So we'll see how that one goes. That's for Steve. I'll get to read it after he's done. Now, he did actually get to choose a couple books himself. I guess I was kind of quick. I saw things and just grab. So he chose for himself. Let me see. Get the whole picture in there. There we go. The Journals of Constant Waterman, Paddling, Poling, and Sailing for the Love of It, by Matthew Goldman. And this is Breakaway Books, which is one of the ones that does a lot of publishing for boat building and adventure stories and fiction and nonfiction travel. So it's a collection of 90 short tales about the boating that Matthew Goldman has done in his life in sailboats, canoes, rowboats, and other floating craft. It's a memoir that deals with water from the puddle to the sea. So that is right up Steve's alley. I know he's really going to enjoy that. He's looking forward to it. And then in the used book section, he came across small wooden boats of the Atlantic, and quite a lot of these boats were designed and used in the area that we're in right now. Things like, so there's photographs, let me show you, of shipyards and people at work, and some of the boats that are no longer function the way they originally did. Like there's, I should have earmarked it, but there's things like cattle shipping boats. You get the cattle across riverways or from islands. Sometimes the sheep and cattle were put out on the islands in order to graze, and then when the grazing season was over, then they would be brought back to the mainland, either to protect them or to slaughter them for meat. There were eel fishing boats, salmon fishing boats, duck hunting boats. I love the duck hunting boats. It's really cool. It's very low to the water and has quite so I'm kind of a very low prow, and you sit down in it, and it's got sort of a periscope top to it. So you sit in this, you come back up into the hole with this periscope, and then you can see, with the ducks. It's like this combination of tank, periscope, boat, and submarine. It's a really cool looking thing, and I've seen one at the Maritime Museum in Halifax, and I think, well, if I was a duck hunter, I would definitely want one of those. They've probably made them in a new configuration of aluminum or God knows what. So anyways, that's the extent of our Lunenburg Bound adventures. And you can see behind me, this is the pine tree that we used to hang our shower bag from and shower under. And as Steve is building the bathhouse, we will soon graduate to something much finer and hopefully bug-free. That is going to be super. We've got this pump thing that you use, and then you press the nozzle. You got to go like this all over. But if you're also trying to kill a mosquito, it's just very confusing. And then if you've got soap in your hair and you try and kill the mosquito, it's just, it's a disaster. It's just a hospital trip waiting to happen. So I'm really looking forward to showering without bugs. Cleo Bell didn't join us. I'm kind of surprised. She's just over on the other side, conked out. And let's see, I guess I'll talk to you soon. I don't know when this will be posted. The internet connection is just not sufficient. So we have to post them when we're back in town. I guess that's it for me today. I hope all your reading dreams and adventures continue to come true, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.